Hello guys, my name is Jonathan Shitruk and today I'm back again here with another video where I'm going to explain you a little bit further and continue from the previous video and talk about the mental muscles, how to practice them and give you some exercise about them. Okay, so let's go here to the board again. I will draw again the stick person, the secret genie. So again, top circle is the mind, bottom circle it's the body. Here we have an imaginary line, separate our conscious mind from the subconscious mind. Like we said before, here in the conscious mind we have the ability to reason, to think, right? And all our sensory factors, what we can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. But we have also in the conscious mind our mental muscles, our imagination, that's one, our reasoning, so reason, we have the ability to think, accept or reject an idea. We have the memory, we have the will, very important. We have our perception, point of view, and we have our intuition. Pick up other person's energy. Okay? Now here, that's of course the intellectual mind and that's the emotional mind, right? That's where the early Greek call it the heart of hearts. And here we have our programming, the paradigm, that control everything that we do, the multitude of habits that fixed here since we are kids, because we come into the world like that. Only the bottom half open, no conscious mind yet. This part of our mind cannot accept or reject. Everything it will accept, no reject, sorry. It can accept only. Okay, don't know what's real and what's imagined. And that's the part of our mind that we have the ability to think. So everything that went into our mind in our little life until the age of 7 forms something that's called paradigm, that's our programming, and it's an habitual mind. Okay? Now, when we have the power flow into our conscious mind, right? After the age of 7 and even before, we develop the conscious mind, the ability to think to ourselves, originate an idea. If someone tells us something, we can reject it. We can accept or reject. When we have the power that flow into our mind, okay, we have the ability to create an idea, okay, that is different than the programming. Now, when we think about an idea, for example, buying the car of your dream, selling whatever you have right now and buying the car of your dream, even though you don't see where the money is going to come from, okay? It's an idea. Okay, it scares the hell out of you because you think logically, and the logic comes from the paradigm. Now, you can imagine the car of your dream, right? You can reason with that, which means you originate this idea with the imagination together because you can have the ability to reason. You can accept or reject it. Most of us reject those stuff. We don't believe we can achieve our dream. Okay? Store it in our memory. Okay? With the will, focus on this idea over and over and over again, because that's how we learn everything in our life, by repetition, 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 repetition. With the will, we hold this image in our mind and not half in, half out. We just hold it until we get there, okay? Even when a ship is going out from, let's say, the port of Los Angeles and is going to New York, 99% of the time, the captain on the helm don't see New York. See it only on the last probably an hour or so. They start to see New York, right? So we need to understand that we're gonna get there if we hold the image in our mind. With our perception, we have the ability, when something is going into our mind, like negative thinking, or we don't see nothing coming because we cannot predict exactly when it's going to come, but it will come if we hold it. We can shift our thinking, because everything have an opposite in it, okay, by the law of polarity. Everything have a bad and a positive. I know it's hard to believe, but that's the truth. In every worst conditioning, we have something good about it. So that's the perception, the point of view, how we actually see the things, okay? And the intuition, you know, everything on the way we're gonna feel it. So the people, the events, everything that's attract to our life during this idea, when we have this idea in our thinking mind, in our reasoning mind, we need to hold it in our mind and feel it, right? And feel it. Now, practicing imagination, first thing that is the best way to do when you practice imagination is basically to sit down in a quiet place or to have a blank sheet of paper and write everything that you want. Everything. That's how actually you find what you really want. Most of us don't know really what we want because we are not logically. We think, oh, let's be realistic, let's be realistic, let's be realistic. But honestly, when we today couple hours from any areas in any place in the world, it wasn't realistic, you know, to fly in the air. You know, but the Wright brothers didn't think that way. You know, they knew that they have the potential, they're gonna do it. And they hold it in their mind. You know, everyone around them tell them they are crazy, but they did not listen. They keep going and they say, we're gonna fly, okay? Now, when they fly, and I think they stayed on the air for the first flight 14 seconds, you know, the people around there, they said, okay, they fly, but they've been there only 14 seconds. That's how the people around them look at it. But when they look at it, they said, we not only go to the air, we stay there for 14 full seconds. It's crazy. So you see, that's how you hold it with a perception. You never let it take you down because there's always something good about it. You can look at it as only 14 seconds or 14 full seconds, you know, it's crazy, okay? With the will, of course, you hold it in your mind, and the best practice to hold it and focus your will and practice and strengthen your will, because a will, it's our focus. I want you to do something like that. Every single day, but you have to do it daily, okay? It's a lifetime commitment. You write on a wall a dot, okay? And you stare at that dot, you put in 5 minutes alarm. And you stare at the dot for 5 minutes, regardless what's happened. And then you focus. When your minds wander and you look at the side, move it back in. It's some sort of meditation to focus on your breath. You know, when you close your eyes, it's almost the same thing. But when you move in, you move in, you move in, and you do it daily, and from 5 minutes you go to 10 minutes, and you do it every single morning. Every morning you can wake up 10, 15 minutes earlier and do it. Make yourself a cup of coffee and you can do it. You're gonna have a very strong will, you know, because that's what they said. Our mind currently, it's like a huge lake, you know, it's going all over. It don't have no speed, you know, it's moving but very, very slow, very, very, very slow, you know, and it's going there and there, and there's so many stimulation around, you know, the Facebook, the social media, everything. So it's take us out of our goal, if we have a goal, of course, and we actually thought about it. You know, and when we start to focus our will, we focus only on one thing, we start to pick up so much speed, and this lake become a river, and a river has so much speed, so much economy, and it's the same amount of water, you know, but we focus it, laser focus, okay? Exactly the same thing is like when you have a light, a bulb, you know, a bulb, you know, you can, when you put it in a room, it illuminate everything, okay? But when you put the same amount in a flashlight, and you look at something, you see it so clear, right, at night. So you can actually go around, see stuff, and you can actually go for further. You see further with a flashlight. A bulb illuminates everything. So, you know, everything is lighting and that, but you're not focusing on one thing. When you're with a flashlight, you look only on one thing and you direct. Okay? So that's our will. Memory. You know, most of us think that we have a bad memory, and no one have a bad memory. All of those things are mental muscles. The more we practice them, like exactly we go into the gym, the more we're actually gonna get better in them. If you need to strengthen your memory, you need to read a book on memory. Okay, get a book on memory, and usually we remember the best when there is a ridiculous association involved in it. Okay, and everything is right in the books. Okay, now the more you focus with your will, your memory also gonna get better because you have only one thing to think about. And you know, it's exactly like a ship can go only to one harbor at a time. right? Like one port at a time. You can arrive only for one port at a time. You can't go to, I don't know, New York and Cabo at the same time, right? You need to go first of all to New York, but you need to decide. So most of us going to New York, decide I'm gonna go to New York, I'm going to New York, going out to the ocean, have so much pump in them, they're like motivated, and then in between they're in the middle of the ocean and they don't know if to go to Cabo or New York because they can't see New York. But the understanding let us know that you cannot see most of the way. Okay, so we need to focus, we need to stay and understand that the uncomfortable feeling means that you're in a good direction. Don't change it. Don't change the end results. Don't change it. Okay, until you get there. When you get to New York, go to Cabo. But don't change your mind and go to Cabo during that. Okay? Because it's like you're gonna find yourself you don't really want to go to Cabo. Okay, so that's the memory. The reason. Reason gives us the ability to accept or reject an idea. Accept or reject an idea. Whatever comes into your mind, if it's the news, economy, whatever it is, friend that's not supporting and tell you why you can't do something that basically tells you why he cannot do it. You know, it's a rejected thought from his mind, so he projected to you. If you accept this idea that he gives you, you move it into the subconscious mind, your body moving the vibration that you can, and the result's gonna be either you feel stuck and you're gonna hold for a while, or you're just gonna give up, you know, and that's the worst thing. So when things going into your mind with our sensory factors, you know, what we can hear, smell, see, taste, and touch, understand that you have the ability to accept or reject. Reject bad economy, reject it. Even in the worst economy, in the worst, you know, depression in 2008, people become millionaires, multi-millionaire. They blessed what happened, you know, the fall of the market. They blessed it. Okay, so we have to understand it. Perception is everything. Okay, it's the way we look at it, and the perception. When we shift it to a positive, we program positive thing and eliminate the negative that most of us habitually like to think that way because our paradigm is programmed for negative. Okay, we have to understand we have to program positive and positive and positive and positive and positive and positive and positive, and the paradigm will change. Okay, the paradigm will change and we will think more positive during the day than negative. Of course, 100% it's like no one can do 100%, but most of the time. And when we are aware of that we think negative, we can shift it with our perception. You know, sometimes, you know, I can give you my tip how I'm using my perception. I was very angry on the road. You know, I was driving and I was like, I said, wow, like what the hell? Like, why are you so angry? But I didn't know what to do. Okay, then I start to learn the materials and everything, and good things start to happen in my life, and I start to think more positive than negative by affirmation. And then when something happened to me and I say even someone look at me and want to fight or something like that in the road, I was looking at him and I was just letting him by, you know. And more than that, not only that, how I calm myself down, I was actually closing my eyes, of course not during driving, but I can imagine it. I was imagining, because I have a picture of him, me and him hugging each other. I'm shaking his hand, I'm smiling to him. I'm imagining him in a good vibration, it's put me in a good vibration. And in a millisecond, everything changed and your vibration became great. Okay? So that's very, very important. And imagination also, it's only practice. Only practice. The reason we are not imagining it's because when we go to school, when we are very, very young, we go to school and, you know, when we daydream at the class, the teacher tells us, stop imagining. You know, stop dreaming. More focus. And we catch and we think that to imagine it's bad, so we stop imagining. You know, when we live from the outside, from what we can hear, see, smell, taste, and touch. You know, this part of our brain have only 2 to 4% of our potential. This part of our brain have 96 to 98. You know, you need to let it happen, but discipline yourself every single day. If you do only the exercise on the wheel, you're gonna see wonders in your life. Wonders in your life. You're gonna have to first of all imagine what you really want, write it on a card in a present tense, and I will explain it to you in the next video. And then I will give you also the tips of how to impregnate into the subconscious mind over and over and over and over and over again. Something that will sound illogical, elementary, but when you do it, you start to see your vibration shift, and then you start to attract things, you know, by nature, by the laws of nature. Okay? So next video, I'm gonna explain you how to choose your goal, how to know what is the right goal for you, how to make a decision, because right now we are in the habit of indecision, okay? And of course, how to impress it on your subconscious mind, what's the actual techniques to impress it, and that's it. Thank you very much for listening. With Jonathan Shitruk. See you in the next video.